Hey, how are you doing guys? Gray here, and today we are back for week number 2 of the WPF. We're going up against Volume, somebody we've never faced before, and I can't remember their team name, I'm not gonna lie. The Volume, Vespiquen Volumes, we'll go with that. He brings, or I think it's a he, if it's not a he I apologise, Greninja, Clefable, Blaziken, Tentacruel, Gliscor, and Sinistcha. I couldn't tell you whether or not this is exactly what I thought he would bring. But I know the Greninja Blaziken core is it's kind of fruity. It does go pretty crazy. However, something that goes crazy against his team is the Salazzle. We are Terra Ground, so he can hit the Tentacruel and we can hit the Blaziken. So yeah, it looks really good. Late game, Chimpao probably does just kind of win a little bit. I think we just need a little bit of chip on a couple of mons on his team. I'd love to get up Spikes early. He does bring the spinner, so it won't be possible to necessarily get it off immediately. But I think still leading Mew is probably fine, unless he got his Greninja. Greninja would actually suck, so maybe Iron Hands is the best play off rip. So I'm just going to lead off with it. It is Assault Vest. It takes hit from absolutely everything on this team. Clefable does nothing to it, so I'm going to go ahead and just lead off with that. And if he leads Greninja, I doubt that he would go ahead and just click extra sensory on me. Well, he might do. But I also kind of expect it to be Battle Bond. He could lead off with Gliscor to activate his orb, to ponder his orb. I think if it's not fully Fizz Def, it doesn't die. Goes to score, that's going to Gliscor, yeah. It doesn't die in one hit. I would kind of like to get his Ice Punch damage off, I'm not going to lie. Do I deal with Greninja if I lose this? Not particularly well. I will say, not the best. I do have a pretty safe switch in. He could just protect here, but I could also just go into you and click Ice School Crash, like just straight off rip, just say fuck it and attempt to murder something immediately. Because I think you either protect or you EQ. How much is an EQ doing to my Chimpao? It is actually not doing a lot at all, so I'm actually going to go into my Chimpao. Unless he's like offensive. If he's very offensive, then it'll do some damage, but it still wouldn't 2-hit KO unless it's, I don't know, it would 2-hit KO if it's max attack. But we'd have that information, so we would take that. Okay, so Chimpao is in. He might just click rocks or something here, but he protects. That makes sense. So Toxic Orb is activated. There's surely just no chance that you stay in. Like, there's absolutely no reason for you to stay in whatsoever. It could be into the Tentacruel. I think regardless, I still just crash. His resists to it aren't amazing. If he goes into the Tentacruel, so be it. Like, if he goes into Tentacruel, I think I just continue to spam Ice School Crash. But essentially, something's got to take a big hit here. Even if he's max defense on Clefable, he's still going to take a lot of damage. Do we die to a single hit from Clef? We shouldn't die to a Moonblast unless it's like Life Orb Magic Guard. So max defense would do 38 to 45. I have absolutely no reason whatsoever to stay in. I can just go out into my Iron Hands and start clicking Heavy Slam. It's pretty free against this team. He's actually going to just stay in and die. I will take it. I will take that, by all means. Wait, did he only bring Gliscor? Okay, so we're back and he's actually got 6 mons this time. I don't expect him to stay in and let his Gliscor go down though. I do expect him to switch out. I'm not going to hold that against him because, yeah, he wasn't to know. Well, he was to know he only had 1 mon. But this is Fizz Def. And it is lefties. Good to know. I can literally just crash again. Like, because he's lefties, he would need a lot of investment in special attack to be able to knock me out. And I don't necessarily need to have Chi and Power full, I just need Chi and Power live. The only downside would be if he sets up rocks later, but as this is only rock setter, I think no, Gliscor also can set up the hazards. But he would do, at max, 92.7%. Because we do have some bulk. I think it was to live better after a spike, or have a chance to live after spike. We also have a chance to flinch, so we're going to head and click it, and there we go. That's exactly why you click the Icicle Crash when you click the Icicle Crash. Now I'll probably go ahead and miss this one, so that's fun. But Clef going down definitely is going to be nice, as long as we connect, of course. He knows that we are not banded at this point because of the damage output. Like, banded would literally just pick up a kill. He can switch out into Tentacruel if he wants to. Clef is now weakened, and as long as it stays weakened, that's the main thing. Icicle Crash is just one of those moves that always seems to flinch when you don't want it to flinch. At least if you're the opponent, not when you're the one who is crashing. When you're crashing, you enjoy a flinch. You wouldn't be surprised to see the Tentacruel come in, but Tentacruel actually takes a decent chunk, unless it's like max. He's going to withdraw. Okay, well, this might take, even as max HP, it still takes, what, 33 to 39? It's actually going to be Blaziken. It's Air Balloon Blaze. Okay. And that does a decent chunk. Respectable amount of damage. And I just go into Mew. Yeah, I can just go into Mew. This could be like U-turn, pivot prior to setting up. It's entirely possible. The way he's playing it makes it a little bit, seem a little bit like that, but we shall see. It could be a special. It could be special, for all I know. Breaking Mew's the Pokemon fan. He goes for the Vacuum Wave. Okay, well, it is special. Can confirm. It is in fact special. I can set up a spike here, or I can just flip turn. I could also just... I think flip turning, keeping up momentum is going to be the main thing here, because if he wants to attack me, then I should be able to do a decent amount of damage in return. But I think he probably just switches out. Maybe back into Clef, and if he goes back into Clef, well, that gives me a chance to go into June Battle again. Goes into Cha. That is a Sinistcha, right? Yeah. Okay. We don't mind that. You're not Helmet. Good to know. So we have a couple of options against this mon. I think Salazzle is going to be the best option, because it also is very, very difficult for him to switch in on. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and I want to click Sludge Wave, I think. Does a Sludge Wave and Terra Blast knock out Tentacruel? Probably not. But regardless, I think I still just go for like a Sludge Bomb here. I could Fire Blast. Honestly, Fire Blast is also pretty free. If I think he has a chance to go out into Tentacruel, I can also make the mid-ground and go into you. So that's what I'm going to do. Because I think regardless, even if you're heat proof, I don't think you want to necessarily stay in. This thing could be like, could be Specs and Terra into Dark type. Go for Dark type Terra Blast. I could also just be Terra Fire, and I would assume potentially nuke this thing anyway. But regardless, we make the double. I think Tentacruel comes in, and I don't want Tentacruel to be in. Yeah, there you go. How free is Earthquake here? It's actually really quite free. I could go for an Ice Punch, predicting the Gliscor to come in. I think that's actually what I want to do. Tentacruel is not a big deal for my team. Whilst Gliscor actually is pretty nice at being able to check things on my team, so I'd rather potentially be able to catch the Gliscor coming in. I guess I could have also just doubled back into Geopower again. Yeah, there's the flip turn. That's going to do very, very little damage. I think like your best switch in is always going to be... Well, I mean, you could go Clef as well, actually. No, it's Gliscor, so we're going to hit this with a nice Ice Punch. Unfortunately, not going to do a great deal. Well, that's good damage. That is good damage. I could go for another Ice Punch here. I do want to keep this healthy for Gren, though. So I'll just go back out into Chi and Pow. I'll just go back in, especially because he's shown Vacuum Wave with Blaziken. This actually doesn't deal with Blaziken very well at all. So I would rather just go into my Chi and Pow and click probably Crunch. Maybe Psychic Fangs actually. Psychic Fangs is probably best mid-ground against a lot of his team, so... saying that, Psychic Fangs actually doesn't do a lot of damage at all. So I think I would have to click Crash. Which is fine. He could just EQ here, which again is kind of fine. I know it won't knock me out, so he does EQ. Does round half. Yeah, just under. And I will happily just click Crash again. I have no reason to not. He can protect if he wants to. He can leave his friends behind. But if they don't crash, then what the fucking words? If they don't crash, then I don't crash. I fucking don't know. Somebody will put it in the comments, I'm sure. Is it the safety crash stand? You know, the safe. Oh fucking hell! Who knows what I'm talking about at this point? Me, most videos, honestly. But yeah, Chi and Pow should just be able to pick up a KO here. If he wants to stay in, he can stay in. He can go into his Tentacruel, but I really do quite like Tentacruel taking that damage. If he goes into Blaziken, again, I quite enjoy it taking that damage. What's it going to be? It's going to be Gren. Everything's getting weakened on this team. That's respectable damage. I definitely will take that. And I will just go into Hands. See what he wants to do. Again, Hands is not really too threatened by a lot of things on his team. He shouldn't want to go for the extra sensory in front of a Chi and Pow. I will hazard a guess at that much. Like, at some point I'm sure he wants to get up his stealth rock. Gonna withdraw. Okay. What's coming in? Tentacruel. Well, that's a little tough for him. Definitely a little bit tough. Do I want to Ice Punch again? Predicting the switch? I still believe the same as last time. Like, I don't care too much about Tentacruel, I do care about Gliscor. I could have gone back into Chi and Pow there actually and just started clicking buttons, but if you flip turn, then it didn't actually get me anything. I didn't gain at all from it. What's going to come in this time? Clef, okay. Makes sense. Something with mid-ground. We know this is lefties. We don't know whether it's fast, but we are pretty speedy. Pretty speedy on this boy. So it might be quicker. I will just go for another Ice Punch because I could bluff a choice item, possibly, somehow. Yeah, we do outspeed, cool. Right. Clef goes down. That's kind of nice. It's not like the biggest deal for my team, by any means. It's just kind of nice. And if Gliscor comes in, I think this time I'm more happy to just go for another Ice Punch. Because I think it's still in range, or it's going to be very close to. EQ put my Chi and Pow down to 184, so that did 42%, which is basically no invest. Or an extremely low roll, possibly, on sub-investment, but essentially no investment. Do I need to do that, though? I don't think I do. Honestly, I don't think I do. Gliscor comes in. I'm pretty happy to once again, I think, just go out into you. There's honestly just nothing he can do about it. Because I don't think he's going to want me to get rocks up. So yeah, I'll just go back into Pow again. Literally just going to use this thing as a way of breaking his team down at this point. I think that defensively I should be able to win this endgame. He just EQs again? Okay. That's fine. He probably just heals up again. If I had to guess, I just click Crash again. Kind of surprised that he wants to spam EQ and I could just go Lando, but maybe I should be using Lando a little bit more to, you know, pivot in, but we do have the rapid spin actually on TERAPAGOS, so it's not the end of the world. If he gets rocks up, he gets rocks up. I just need to make sure that TERAPAGOS stays healthy. He doesn't protect. Just into Tentacruel? Yeah, just straight into Tentacruel. Makes sense. Crash is going to do like 30-ish%. Yeah. And he is Black Sludge. Good to know. This still outspeeds his entire team, so it's still very much helpful. We have seen Flip Turn, it could be Knockoff. Regardless, I just go Mew. If he sets up T-Spikes, would be a little tough, but worse things have definitely happened. I could have just gone for the flinch again there. So he just Flip Turns. Okay, so that's a bit of Rocky Helmet chip. We take those, boys. We take those. So Gren comes in now, right? Makes a lot of sense, I think, for Gren to come in. He could have priority on Gren as well, but that's another reason why I think Chi and Power is a little bit more useful in trying to break his team down instead of trying to win with it. But Mew, as long as it's alive, will be able to check the Blaziken, or somewhat be able to check the Blaziken. Yeah, in comes Gren. That makes a lot of sense. Would love to have got a spike up at some point, so just be wearing these mons down, but it is what it is. We still got plenty of healthy mons in the back. This probably is a U-turn, if I had to guess. But I got to keep an eye on the end game, or at least like the long game, because, well, firstly, we need to finish this battle in 20 minutes, because I think he has to run somewhere in 20 minutes. So we definitely need to make plays quick, but I don't think it's necessarily Mew's not making the plays quick here, so much as it's just the way the game is playing out. It's a little bit more pivoty, a little bit more defensive than I would, well, than perhaps would have been best. But it is what it is. We'll see what he wants to go for. I do think this could be special, but it just goes to the pump. Okay. You are possibly Specs. No, you're Life Orb. You're definitely not Specs. And you are Battle Bond, so that's good to know. I can once again just go for the Ice Punch. I could also just Drain Punch, right? Because he probably wants the chip on this, I would assume. I could Heavy Slam. Does Heavy Slam do enough to a Gren? Heavy Slam does not do a great deal to a Gliscor. I will say that much. EQ would do enough. Ice Punch into 2 lots of Life Orb would actually do the thing, but I will go ahead and click Ice Punch again. Is a Gliscor coming in? Nope, the Sinister is coming in though. I will take that. I will most definitely take that. Respectable damage. And it is Leftovers as well. Leftovers the movie. You love to see it. I really want to just click Heavy Slam here, expecting him to Terror. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead. He just Strength Slaps. Okay. That's fine. It's going to go back up to full, but it is what it is. It's very much physically defensive, I can tell you that much for free. You can definitely Calm Mind here, so I need to prevent that at all costs. So I'm pretty sure the switch into Salazzle was the play. I should have gone into Salazzle on that turn, but here we are. Yeah, Calm Mind. Makes sense. Is this Terra normal then? I regardless go for Sludge Bombs and I go for the potential poison. And if he Terra Fairies here, we do a shitload of damage. If he doesn't, then the next turn I will just Fire Blast it. If we live to see the next turn, that is of course. But at least if he Terras, we know exactly what Terra he is, and we can play around it accordingly. Isn't gonna Terra, wow, okay. We do get the poison on the first try, so we take those, I guess. We've got the flinch and the poison. We've been very lucky. It's just going to go for a second Calm Mind. Now, I want to say Fire Blast will just knock this out. Potentially. Despite the heat proof, there's definitely a chance. His ability to get recovery here is very, very slim. So I will, yeah, just click Fire Blast and hopefully it does enough damage. If he decides to Terror on this turn, that would be incredibly unfortunate. But the fact that he hasn't Terrored so far makes me think that he's probably not going to do it. But then again, who knows? Might decide that this is actually the turn that it makes sense to do it. Nope. Fire Blast. Is it going to kill? Barely going to miss out on it. And he just Terra Blasts. Raw Terra Blast. Going to do a lot of damage. It is going to do a lot of damage. It's part of me that wants to raw Terra Blast to assert dominance, but that would just be a fucking BM play, wouldn't it? So I will just Sludge Bomb. We do have, in fact, one more turn. He's going to draw. Wow. I should have just Terra'd and Terra Blast then, because Tentacle's coming in, right? Yeah. You know what? Respectful damage. I can immediately threaten this Mon out, I think. Actually, probably not too easily, but I'll go ahead and just... I'm going to Terra and Fire Blast, I think. Do I need to? I can always just save this. I can literally always just save this. So I'm just going to go out to Mew. Until rocks go up, I can save one hit on this Mon. So there's no point in me trying to make a prediction around what's going to happen here. Like, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. And I could set up a spike, but I think the switch initiative is just going to be more favourable. Knocking off Gliscor does nothing for me. If he sets up rocks, that does do something. And if he stays in here, because he could just flip turn, right? And now he's free to flip turn. Yeah. I can just go into Iron Hands. I should have probably just killed this. I overthought that turn. A lot. Toxics. Okay. I still got plenty of pieces. Still plenty of pieces to keep me going in this game. Yeah, I should still be okay. I'm going to Earthquake on the chance that he decides to stay in. Yeah, there we go. As I say, there's going to be a turn where he just stays in, because I've clicked the same move every single time. We lose our Assault Vest, so like we weren't going to be able to take on Greninja afterwards anyway. Just because of the Toxic. Like, we've been too low to take Hydro Pumps effectively. So here he can go into pretty much anything. Like, Gliscor makes the most sense because he gets the most health back from that. But that does then give me Chi and Power again. Goes into Gren, okay. Well, on the off chance that he misses Hydro, I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch. There's no reason for me to switch out here. Like, Hands has done its job. If I hadn't overplayed or played around that Tentacle quite so much, I would have had a healthier Hands and a better position, but I just absolutely got into my own head on that. We do still have a Salazzle that I can just click a button. Like, I can literally just click Fire Blast once. He does land it. This will knock us out. And do I think that this Mon has got Water Shuriken? It could very well have Water Shuriken. I think regardless, this is my time to go into Terapagos. Because Mew's still healthy enough, it should be able to take a hit from Blaziken. We still have a whole Lando in the back as well. So, yeah. I think Terapagos is just the play here. Don't get me wrong, this is still going to hurt quite a bit. But we just, Terra Starstorm? Like, Gren is still pretty good for him in this matchup. Like, now it just outspeeds everything, right? It just kind of outspeeds everything and kills everything. He has like a 1 HP Sinistcha that doesn't help him at all. But I'm just going to keep this around. Like, I'm never letting this Mon take damage whilst Gren's alive. Like, the worst case scenario is here are U-turns. But even then, I'll still be at a good amount of health. He should just go Sinistcha, right? Okay, Dark Pulses. That's a very good amount of damage. He does lose some HP. We don't get flinched. Okay, well, I could have Rapid Spun, actually. Rapid Spin would have been a better play. But I don't know if it killed. I'm going to be honest. It's a Greninja. It did 16 to 20. I don't think it did. Blaziken comes in now. I think this is the time in which we go into our Landorus instead. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like specs or something, because it didn't show life orb. Like, surely it's only Blaziken that can come in, right? Because Gliscor doesn't want to take this mon on. It does want to take this mon on, apparently. Alright then. I did not expect that at all. I'm gonna be honest. Did not expect that at all. I will Terra Starstorm once. Is he faster? He's not faster. That does so much damage, my god. Okay, he just Toxics. But if this goes down, then Lando wins, right? I feel like that's the case. So I'm just going to go for Dark Pulse in case he wants to go Sinister. Like, Dark Pulse should still knock this out. Dark Pulse will not knock this out, actually. So I do need to go for Terra Starstorm. It goes for the Double Protect. Okay. I respect the play. That kind of is his way of winning. But Lando should be able to see out this game now. And since I can't afford to let the Blaziken set up at all in any way, I don't think it would. I mean, maybe physical with the Vacuum Wave just to hit the Chien-Pao. But regardless, I just cannot let this mon set up. So, and it may be slower. I doubt it. Yeah. Flare Blitz, that's going to do a lot of damage. That's definitely going to go ahead and do a lot of damage. But I just go into Landorus now. And there's like nothing. Nothing you can do. Realistically. 50 Shades of OU. In your gun, lad. Like, maybe I'm forgetting something. Maybe he has an overheat here. Regardless, I will just EQ. Like, this by all means could be mixed. But the way it took the Icicle Crash earlier, I think it's got some bulk investment. And we have a lot of bulk investment in this Lando, so. But, okay, well. I'm guessing he's hoping that Blaziken can do the thing. If it's Choice Banded, it still will not knock me out. Adamant Choice Band does 93 max. So, yeah, I'm just going to EQ. He does Blitz. He's going to take a lot of recoil anyway. That does absolutely nothing. That is most definitely not banded. We reveal the Citrus. That's kind of cool, I guess. And we are going to pick up a second win in WPF. I can't remember how much. I think it was a 1-0 last week that we won. We pretty much just tried to throw last week and failed. This week we have managed to win the game without throwing successfully. We're going to win 4-0 as well. Nice big win to come back off of a slightly smaller win. We did make it within the 45 minutes as well. So you'll love to see that. Anyway, great game to Volume. That was actually a really fun one. Lots of things that were very scary. We did get a little bit lucky as well with the poison on Sinister and the Icicle Crash flinch. Put us in a really, really commanding position. But I want to say we probably had that game regardless. We kept our pieces pretty healthy in the back for most of that. And yeah, make sure to go check them out. Their link will be in the description below. I think they're probably quite new to uploading and the Wi-Fi scene because I have not seen them before unless they were by a different name. Who knows? But yeah, really great person. We had some issues earlier with our internet provider decided, nah, not today, mate, not today. So we had some issues earlier and they're rescheduled, so massive thank you to them for doing that. And like, subscribe, all that bullshit. Until the next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.